So, starting our new unit. So that's our new and first unit. So we're going to start with equations and formulas, and then we're going to see a lot of the ideas and the skills that we saw in the review. We're going to use them in this unit. Okay? So let's start with adding and subtracting like terms. We're going to have to introduce what a like term is, how to do it, how to add and subtract like terms. So when I say I have 2 apples and 3 apples, can I simplify that? Instead of saying I have 2 apples and 3 apples, what can I say?
So you have 5.
I have 5 apples. I can add the apples, right? I can say I have 5 apples. So what I did here is I added how many apples I have, right? So think about the 2 and the 3 as your coefficients of how many apples you have. Okay? Now how about if I have 14 oranges and 7 oranges, but then we took away 5 oranges. How many oranges do I have?
This is just integers basically, right?
It's integers, but we're introducing some letters in there too.
Okay.
Okay? So I have 14 oranges plus 7 oranges minus 5 oranges. What do I have? How many oranges do I have? What do you do on your calculator? Tell me, what do you do?
14 plus 7 minus 5.
That's right. 14 plus 7 take away 5.
16.
So that's 16 what?
Oranges, sorry.
Orange. How about if I have 8 apples plus 6 oranges minus 4 apples minus 10 oranges? What do I do? So I'll add the oranges up together, and what do I do with the apples? Okay, and can I add the apples together? Right, I have 2 apples, I have 8 apples and 4 apples, right?
You
Yeah.
can't add the oranges though, right?
I can't add the oranges to the apples, can I?
No.
No.
Right?
So, what I have to do here is I have to add the apples together, so that's 8 apples take away 4 apples, so that is 4 apples. And I can add the oranges together, right? Because we're talking about the same fruit here, right? So that's going to be 6 oranges minus 10 oranges, so that is negative 4 oranges. Okay? So what did we do here?
How do you have a negative 4 oranges?
I know, it doesn't make sense when we're talking about negative 4 oranges. You owe me 4 oranges, basically, right? I know it doesn't make sense when we're talking about oranges, but when we're talking about letters like X's, it will start making sense, okay? But, do you see that right here? Did we add the oranges and apples together?
No.
No, we have to stick with the same kind, right? So I was able to add the apples together, right? I was able to add the oranges together, but I can't add the apples and oranges with each other. So, a typical term would have the following. So this is negative 8x is a typical term. Can I have your attention? So this is called a term. It has 2 things. You have the number and you have the variable. Okay? So this number is called a coefficient. And the x is called a variable.
We want plus 6. So it means
when you're adding like terms, you must have the same letter. You must have the same variable with the same exponent.
What does it become 6? 4 plus 6.
I'm just recording, so it's recording. So, if you're looking at this, give me a like term to negative 8x. What would be a like term?
Positive 8x?
Positive 8x. Okay, so 8x is a like term. Give me another.
Negative 4x?
Negative 4x. Right? What do we call these like terms? Why are they called like terms?
Multiply or divide into each other?
Because they have the same letter. Okay? It's like apples. 2 apples and 3 apples. They're like terms. They're like kinds. So that makes 5 apples, right? It's when you have 14 oranges and 7 oranges, right? You can make 21
It's
oranges.
just multiple x's then.
Okay? So it's because they're all x's. Okay? Would this be a like term?
No.
No, because
Because
of the power 2. So this is not a like term. Okay? So, I want you to look in example 1, and I want you to find 2 like terms, or more than 2. Find like terms. What would be my like terms in example 1? Just find any 3 like terms, or any 2 like terms, or any like terms.
7x,
7x,
4x,
4x,
5 would be one too, wouldn't it?
negative 5x. Any other like terms?
no.
No.
Oh, no.
Does that make sense?
Why?
Yeah.
Won't it be like 11 or something?
11 by itself, if it doesn't have an x, it's not a like term. If it was 11x, if it was this, then it would be a like term. Okay? You must have the same variable and the same exponent. Okay? So is 9x squared a like term? No, because it has that squared on top. Is negative 3xy the same?
No.
No, because it has both x and y. It has to have exactly the same variable and the same exponent. Do we understand that? Okay. Now I would like you to look at example number 2 and point at like terms. So what would be like terms now? 4xy is like term to what? 7xy. Do we agree with that?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Any other like terms? Do I have anything that has only y? No. Do I have anything that's only a number, a constant? No. Do I have anything that has y squared? No. Do I have anything that has only x? Do I have anything that has x to the power 4? So the only 2 like terms are 4xy and 7xy.
The same? Same?
Okay. So,
Same thing.
find that like terms have the same variable So I'm going to give an example here. So let's say if I have 2xy Okay, there's 3xy, xy. These are all like terms because they have the same letter. Both letters are there and they have the same degree. The coefficient might between like terms. Give me two like terms that have different coefficients. Eight.
9, like, 5 out of 2.
They have to have that different, they have to be like terms but different coefficients. So 8 y squared. Give me another one. They have to be like term, different coefficients.
9.
9 y squared.
Okay.
Right? They're like terms because they have the same variable, but the coefficient is different. Okay? Remember that the coefficient is a number in front of the letter. Are we okay with this? The exponent on the variable must be the same. To be considered like terms. So, the example would be y squared and 9y squared. That's another example, right? The same one that we used before. Your exponent right here is the same with the same variable. And remember that you cannot add or subtract different terms. Okay? Unless they're the same, you can't add them or subtract. Let's look at the first example. So the first example says 7a plus a. Can I simplify that? What would it
7
be?
plus 0?
So what is that? What is, when you have a letter by itself, what's the coefficient of it? 1. It's an invisible 1. Okay? So it's like I'm saying I have 7 apple plus an apple. It's 8a.
Say that again?
So if you have a letter by itself, right? It has an invisible coefficient, which is a 1. Okay? So that will tell you that you have 7 apples plus 1 apple, so you have 8 apples.
So unless there's a different number there, it's always one.
Yeah, unless there, if there's a number, that's a number. If there's no number, then it's correct. Okay? Look at the second one. How about 9P take away P? AC? Because again, I have an invisible 1 here. So I'm taking 9, take away 1, which is 8. Clear for everyone? Okay. Now it becomes a little more complicated because I have different terms. Okay? What's the first thing you want to do? So looking at this, what's the first thing you want to get rid of? The bracket, right? You don't want that bracket. So you see that I have a negative and a negative right after each other. What did I say if we have,
From the one.
it becomes a positive, right? So negative times negative makes it a positive. Remember that, guys? So I can remove the bracket, but to remove the bracket, I have to get rid of that double negative. Okay? Because the rule says, right here, negative times a negative makes a positive. Now, I remove my bracket. Now I'm going to have to collect like terms. So let's start with the 7x because that's my first term. Do I have any like term to that?
3x?
Negative 3x, that's right. So 7x and negative 3x. So what does that give me?
4x.
4x. 7, taking away 3. So what can you enter in the calculator if you want to use the calculator here? What do you do?
No, not this.
Why do you have to do the like terms?
Just do the.
You always have to do the like terms. You
Right.
can't simplify. This is the only way you can simplify, is the like terms. You can only add apples together and oranges together. You can't add everything together. Okay? So in this case, I can only do the x's together and the y's together. Okay? What would you enter on the calculator if you want to do that?
The numbers only. And
The numbers only. So you do 7 minus 3. And then when you write your answer, you're going to write it with a variable. Is that clear for everyone?
Could you repeat that?
So on the calculator, you enter 7 minus 3. And then when you write it, you write the answer with the x, because that's your variable.
So with the calculator wouldn't allow us to put the x, right?
No, it's not.
Now look at it, please.
Okay. My other two like terms are what?
minus 10y.
Negative 10y plus 6y. Okay. Why are they like terms?
We have the y's.
They have the same variable, right? Same one. So what do you enter on the calculator?
Minus 10 plus
What do you think?
Negative 10 plus 6. Okay? So you enter on the calculator negative 10 plus 6. So it's going to give you negative 4.
Let's go. Let's go. Give me.
And then you're going to put negative 4. So what we're going to do for the next one is we're going to identify the like terms, and I'm going to give you time to enter it on the calculator and to find the answer. Okay? So
That should be it.
what's the like term for 9x squared?
6x squared.
Not you. What's the like term for 9x squared? Negative 6x squared. Right? What's the like term for xy or negative xy?
8xy.
Which one?
8xy.
8xy. Right? Remember, you have to have the same letters, guys. If you don't have the same letters, they're not like terms. Right? 9 and x, they're not like terms, so they're going to stay the same. You can't add them together because one is x, the other one's y.
We got
Okay,
it.
so now you're gonna collect the like terms. Let's see if you guys can do that.
So that we.